Breaking, tensions are exploding across Europe. Russian strategic bombers are flying dangerously close to British airspace, forcing NATO fighter jets into the sky. Moscow calls it routine. NATO doesn't. On the ground, Ukrainian forces have crushed another Russian mechanized assault, wiping out armored vehicles and assault troops with drones and artillery. Inside Russia, a massive fire tears through the Moscow region, adding to growing signs of internal strain. From NATO airspace alerts to drone-dominated battlefields and unexplained incidents inside Russia, this war is expanding fast, and the next move could change everything. We are going to post from handle @nexta-tv. They report, Russian strategic bombers flew toward Britain, forcing NATO to respond. According to reports, NATO scrambled fighter jets after Russian bombers approached British airspace. Russia's Ministry of Defense claimed the flight was routine and conducted over neutral waters of the Barents and Norwegian seas. However, the Post notes that this is not the first such incident. On the same day, the Polish Air Force intercepted a Russian reconnaissance aircraft flying near Polish airspace. This incident underscores the growing pattern of Russian military pressure along NATO's borders. While Moscow routinely labels these flights as routine, NATO countries view them as deliberate provocations designed to test response times, air defenses, and political resolve. Strategic bombers are not ordinary aircraft. Their presence near Britain, a core NATO member, carries symbolic and strategic weight, even if they remain in international airspace. Each interception increases the risk of miscalculation, mechanical failure, or escalation. The simultaneous interception by Poland further highlights how frequently NATO's eastern flank is being probed. These actions stretch NATO resources and maintain constant tension across multiple regions. Overall, this reflects a broader trend. As the war in Ukraine continues, Russia is expanding pressure beyond the battlefield, using airspace provocations to signal strength, challenge NATO unity, and keep Europe on edge. We are going to our next post from RKM Times, handle @RKM Times. They claim Ukraine has confirmed that the Flamingo cruise missile could create a major setback to U.S. Tomahawk missiles, potentially surpassing conventional cruise systems. According to the Post, Flamingo could be effective against advanced Russian systems like the S-500 air defense and the RS-28 Sarmat by 2026. The Post further claims that Flamingo is becoming the next Tomahawk-class missile for European Union nations. This post focuses on emerging missile technology and future military balance, but its claims should be treated cautiously. While Ukraine and European partners are rapidly advancing missile and drone development, comparisons to systems like the U.S. Tomahawk involve complex factors, including range, payload, guidance, production scale, and integration with broader military doctrine. The reference to countering Russia's S-500 systems and RS-28 Sarmat highlights the ongoing technological arms race driven by the Ukraine war. Even the suggestion of such capabilities serves a strategic purpose, signaling deterrence, innovation, and long-term resilience. Claims of a 2026 timeline remain speculative, but the broader trend is clear. Europe is increasingly investing in indigenous strike capabilities to reduce dependence on U.S. systems and strengthen collective defense. Overall, this reflects how the war is accelerating military innovation and reshaping future power balances, not just on today's battlefield, but in the years ahead. We are going to our next post from globe.tv, handle @globe.tv. They report, the Ukrainian 28th Mechanized Brigade repelled the Russian mechanized assault in the Konstantinovka direction. According to the Post, 2 so-called turtle tanks and around 15 Russian assault troops were destroyed. The author notes the heavy use of drones and artillery, stating that the attacking forces had virtually no chance of success. This post highlights how modern battlefield dynamics are reshaping ground combat in Ukraine. Mechanized assaults, once the backbone of offensive operations, are increasingly vulnerable to layered drone surveillance and precision artillery fire. The destruction of armored vehicles, including heavily protected turtle tanks, suggests that additional armor modifications are no longer enough to counter persistent drone threats. Once detected, advancing units face rapid targeting and destruction before they can maneuver effectively.
The author's observation about the overwhelming presence of drones and artillery reflects a broader trend across the front lines. Offensive actions without air superiority or effective counter-drone measures are becoming extremely costly and often unsuccessful. Overall, this reinforces the reality that technological dominance, especially in drones and precision fire, is now a decisive factor in determining success or failure on the battlefield. We are going to our next post from LX Summer 1, handle @LXSummer1. They report, in Russia's Moscow region, a two-story building at a construction market in the village of Brekhovo within the Khimki urban district has been engulfed in flames. According to local media, the building houses a lumber store and several auto repair shops. Additional footage shows the fire spreading rapidly through the structure. This incident adds to a growing number of fires and unexplained infrastructure incidents reported across Russia during the ongoing war. While there is no official confirmation linking this fire to sabotage, military action, or Ukrainian operations, such events inevitably raise questions given the broader security context. Facilities like construction markets and repair shops often support local logistics, transport, and maintenance networks. Even accidental fires can have indirect economic and operational impacts, particularly during wartime when resources and repair capacity are already strained. It's important to note that fires of this kind can result from electrical faults, industrial accidents, or negligence. However, amid an atmosphere of heightened tension, every major incident inside Russia contributes to a sense of vulnerability and internal instability. We are going to our next post from DI313-_. They report, tensions are increasing as Russian bombers move close to British airspace. In response, NATO launched fighter jets. Moscow describes the incident as a routine flight over neutral waters. Officials are monitoring the situation closely, questioning whether this is standard military activity or a sign of wider escalation. This incident adds to a growing pattern of Russian strategic aviation activity near NATO's borders. While Moscow consistently labels these flights as routine, NATO responses suggest they are treated as serious security events. Strategic bombers are not symbolic assets. They are designed for long-range strike missions. Their presence near Britain, a core NATO member, carries symbolic and strategic weight, even if they remain in international airspace. Each interception increases the risk of miscalculation, mechanical failure, or escalation. The simultaneous interception by Poland further highlights how frequently NATO's eastern flank is being probed. These actions stretch NATO resources and maintain constant tension across multiple regions. Overall, this reflects a broader trend. As fighting continues in Ukraine, Russia is expanding pressure beyond the battlefield, using airspace provocations to signal strength, challenge NATO unity, and keep Europe on edge. Tensions are rapidly rising across multiple fronts as the Ukraine war continues to expand beyond the battlefield. Russian strategic bombers have once again flown dangerously close to British airspace, forcing NATO to scramble fighter jets. While Moscow insists these flights are routine, NATO officials are watching closely, warning that repeated provocations increase the risk of miscalculation. At the same time, fighting on the ground remains intense. Ukrainian forces from the 28th Mechanized Brigade successfully repelled a Russian mechanized assault in Konstantinovka. Drone surveillance and heavy artillery destroyed armored vehicles and assault troops before they could break through, reinforcing how modern warfare is being decided by technology, not massed attacks. Inside Russia, another large fire has broken out in the Moscow region, engulfing a two-story construction market. While the cause remains unconfirmed, incidents like this continue to fuel concerns about internal security and wartime strain on civilian infrastructure. Together, these developments paint a clear picture. The war is no longer confined to trenches and front lines. From NATO airspace alerts to drone-dominated battlefields and unexplained incidents inside Russia, this war is expanding fast, and the next move could change everything.